28.
Well, if he's through the gap there, he's very fortunate. He played the cue ball past the pink, surely. And he has. He's found the gap.
Well, it turned out that he was on that ball.
Once again, the contact there looked a bit heavy. Threw the cue ball a bit wide. Big shot here. Into the pack. Lots of side spin. How's his luck? Not very good, I don't think.
34. Hendry, 34.
Couldn't have placed it better by hand. Tight on the cushion behind the green. Cutting out the return safety from the three reds on the right hand side of the table.
And he couldn't get to the right hand side of that red, so he's having to play it dead weight.
Found a miss. Stephen Hendry, 4.
No danger there, I don't think, with that, Clive. Wasn't leaving anything on anyway.
No. King attempting what is sometimes called a smother shot here, just to roll absolutely dead weight to the red.
Well, not perfect. He would have liked to just push the red out a little further into the table. Stephen Hendry isn't rushing to take this red on. It looks available. Never easy to judge the potting angle of those when the cue ball and object ball so close together. So it's off for safety.
Foul. Stephen Hendry, 4.
4 away, no damage done. Played that safety quite well. Could have done with a wobble there and left the cue ball tight on the ball cushion.
Little grimace there. Wanted the cue ball tight on the ball cushion behind the yellow. That would have given King maximum difficulty.
Took that on, safe in the knowledge that he couldn't leave any other red on. looks if he could have covered all the reds here. Mark King moving out of the way for referee Pete Williamson to have a look in case he got to replace something. Just swerved around the yellow then. Well controlled shot, that one. Nice little nudge on the yellow. Would have been safe anyway, but now marking is snookered. Not easy to get safe off this.
Would have been easier if the black wasn't, or if the black was blocking everything to the right corner. But at least one red will go.
Well, Mark King got up in disgust then because he thought he'd mishit it. As it's turned out, it's gone safe. Thought he'd hit it too hard, so the cue ball would have slipped off the reds, but it caught him quite full.
Lovely touch on that safety. Good response from King. Good duel this.
Yes, I think King has got to keep it tight. Try and frustrate Stephen Hendry, who likes the fast open game. This red may go past the black into the corner. Well, it would go. Didn't quite catch it right. Long red available now to Mark King. It's just a matter where the cue balls are going to finish up. First job is to pot it. If he gets a good kiss and get on the colour, it's a bonus, but must pot this red. Nothing wrong with that. Much better that way than putting a lot of side spin on and trying to manipulate the cue ball somewhere. Priority pot the ball in those shots. At least you can play a good safety now.
Green ball. Marking one.
King 40 behind, so was careful not to play the safety of the green in such a way that he would have put it under the cushion.
He's having a good look, Stephen Hendry. The best safety shot is the red by the side of the black there, but he doesn't want to possibly bring the black into play at this moment in time. He's 40 points in front.
was a poor shot. Wanted to leave the cue ball just a roll or two past the baulk line to snooker Hendry on the red top left of picture.
Now the difference here is marking will probably try and bring the black into play off this red that Stephen Hendry turned down. He has got other options though, marking. Is that red pass? No. Just played the safety. Didn't get past the baulk line though. Stephen Hendry having a look at the two reds. Look at the pink there to see if they're on as a plant. Not quite.
Played that in the belief that it was the only red he could possibly leave.
Well, it was, but he missed the red, brought another one into play, but more importantly, brought the black more into the open. If Mark can pot this red, and he's going round, I thought he may stay there for the black, using the second red to hold the cue ball.
It's the third red that King has potted in this frame. He hasn't yet potted a colour. When you come to the table 40 behind, one breaks, aren't much good.
Marking 1.
If these reds by the black don't pot, it'd be quite an easy escape here. Just drop on the two reds behind the black spot. But if they do pot, you'd have to be careful. Now then, there's a red in the middle here. Maybe worth a look. You can drop it in, stay on the pink. Won't be leaving anything else on.
Good pot. On a colour this time, but a lot to do to make substantial inroads into his arrears.
7.
Yeah, he's not too happy with that one. He did the cue ball to bounce another inch, and he could have just potted this red and straight forward to get out for the black. He's still did a good job of that. Couldn't have hit it any harder than that, otherwise the pot may well have wobbled. But he looks as if he's a little short of place for the black. Difficult to see from here, but it's certainly tight. And even if he pots it, he can't get on another red off the black. Kind of off the pink though.
That certainly wasn't an easy pot with the cue ball so close to the cushion. By potting that red, he releases another.
He's been quite patient here. He's battled away with the safeties. Spotted a few loose reds and snookered Stephen Hendry. That's what forced this opening. Oh well,
Mark
just set
15.
himself up. He only had to stun round then with the brown. He'd been perfect on the reds. He'd be disappointed with that one. Seemed to go quite quick at it.
One.
Now then, as you got an angle here off this brown to come into the reds, I don't think anything goes. Doesn't look to have a good angle to screw into them.
Five.
Made a big effort to screw into the edge of the left-hand red, hoping to knock something on.
Stephen Hendry, 5.
Not as played. He played that red a lot thinner. Never really looked as if he had enough of an angle then to screw off the brown into the reds. He obviously thought so. Longest frame of the match now. Just over 23 minutes. A very important frame. Stephen Hendry caught his safety on this side of the table a bit thick the last time. Got to be careful with this because the first red could slide off the second one and cause some damage. And he played that well, but he's left one out.
One.
Good pot. And he looks immediately to see whether he can reach the potting angle on the black and develop the other reds.
I think he hit that one a bit too well. Do you know where we held the cue ball there? Needed to go across another 3 or 4 inches there with the cue ball. It could be just the one. Another good safety needed.
Brown ball. Marking 1.
Well, if the red's dead straight, that's why Stephen Hendry's not looking too happy. Mark could take it on, but he's just playing the safety.
Hendry got to be very careful here to cover the red nearest the pocket. Hendry can only hit the underside of the red as we look at it.
I don't think he's got a shot on it, like. You can't hit enough of that red to get back behind the black. You can't run up to it because you can't see enough of it. It's a very clever shot there from our king. Man, he's played it dead weight. And with the thought there, I don't think he had any other options, Clive. I think his thoughts there were, right, leave the red safe. And if you can pot the other red that's on the pocket, it'll force Mark King to have to move it to clear up. But can you get to the cushion here to hit cushion first? That wasn't an illusion then. It looked on camera as if he was missing the cue ball, but that's what the players do now. They hit on the side of the ball to force it across. Just touch it, just move it a fraction. There you can see it looks, the tip is on the side of the cue ball, although it looks as if it's missing it from here.
This is a very delicate little exchange.
Problem here for Stephen Hendry, if he just touches up to the red, perhaps Mark King could knock that one onto the one on the pocket. So he's looking now to backspin and play a Massey to get behind the black. Very risky, this one. Looks like we could just roll to the side of the red, Clive, doesn't it? Just touch the right hand side of the red and should be safe.
The other pitfall would be if he left a touching ball, then King could simply roll the cue ball behind the black, which would make the situation even worse.
Needs to get this dead right. Well, there's a good miscue, that one. Give it plenty of time and then miscued. Now then, can Mark King pot this red and bring the awkward one into play? It looks as if he's got an angle there. That would be the shot now.
One.
Would have been better if he could have made the cannon in such a way as to leave the cue ball further out in the middle of the table.
Oh, that was a tough shot. And it looks as if he's left the red on.
Had that black gone in, King had every chance of going on to clear up to take the frame.
One.
As it was, Hendry needed only that red to secure it. Not Hendry's preferred type of frame, this, far from it, but
Six.
he's played some pretty good safety and has now got it safely in the bag.
Eight.
Yes, Mark will be disappointed to lose the frame, but he was a bit unlucky on the kiss there.
11.
Had to play to kiss that red off the cushion, but left himself no option really. Either play safe or take
15.
on the tough black.
20.
A 32-minute frame. But Stephen Hendry has won it.
Stephen Hendry 20 on the frame.
So King having led 2-0, Hendry leads 3-2.
Stephen Hendry's having to work for his supper out there tonight. Okay, he likes the fast up and break building type of matches, but sometimes they don't come along. Partly through his errors or partly through his opponent's good play as well. So, got to dig in there. Plenty of patience. I think Ronnie O'Sullivan showed that today. Now then, double kiss from Mark King, which hasn't helped, but he struck that one well. Had it hit perfect to get round off the two cushions onto the black. Not sure about that.
8.
Well, can he get through there? He can. He can get through to the bottom red and in the black towards the opposite corner.
9.
What a difference an inch makes.
$16.
Quite sure why he's looking over this side. Let's see if a red goes. Or can't see any plants there. Certainly taking on the red above the black to start with anyway. So he's looking 2 shots at least in advance.
17.
Well, obviously nothing goes
24.
apart from this red down the corner.
25.
He's left a bit of an angle off the black to try and spread the reds, but they're not really well set for a good split. Again, he's having a look if something passes there. They must be all very tight for him to go across to the other side and look.
$32. $33.
That was deceptive on camera then. It looked as if it is very tight. Went easy enough. Oh no. Not as intended.
40.
You often find this, the games are going on a bit longer because both players haven't killed the frame at one visit. Whether it's through kicks or not a good split to the balls. Mark King went into the reds once and went in off. Can't do nothing about it.
Stephen Hendry, 40.
Hoping to open the bunch to continue the break. which was on 5 reds, 5 blacks. But nothing potable came out.
So he'd be happy enough. It's similar to the previous frame when Stephen Hendry got in with an early 34. Progressed that on to 40-odd point lead, but then Marking got back into the game. And he certainly spread those about, Stephen Hendry, with that safety shot. And there's one on. Oh, that was unlucky. I tell you something, if you pot that red and avoid the other reds, it's, well, 10 to 1 on. You're going to be on a colour at least. He's just nudged the brown. And now he's got nothing. Just a safety. Good snooker needed.
Marking
Oh,
1.
no. I think he's left an edge out. If he could have covered those reds, Clive, it would have been very difficult for Stephen Hendry to get safe, wouldn't it?
Because they're so widely spread. Could have done with a thinner edge on that safety. Here's King's chance then to get right back into this frame, or even possibly win it at this visit.
He's worried about that brown he is underneath his waistcoat. Doesn't help, he's got to stretch here a bit. I think he's clear of the brown. That was enough to put him off. And the pot was never a certainty. But he would have got that, I think, Clive, if he won for the brown.
Yeah, he just couldn't get comfortable. And when you haven't got your usual body position,
1.
it makes it just that little bit more difficult. Crucially so in that case. King's failure to pot that red has given Hendry a chance to clinch this frame. A frame which could, and indeed should, give him a 2-frame advantage at 4-2.
Going back to the previous shot in Marking, the problem is when you're worried about a ball under your body, you tend to manipulate your body round to avoid touching it, and takes the cue slightly offline.
8.
Crucial error by the look of it.
$15. 16. 17.
Well, was that a miscue?
Oh no, it's just a bad
22.
contact. There's been a lot of them. It did all right, but look at the pink jumping up in the air. Been quite a few of these today over the two semi-finals. And not just the ones when you're rolling the ball in, Clive. There's a lot when the people playing backspin with a little bit of power. You're still getting a bounce on the object ball. Certainly stopped Stephen Hendry in his tracks here.
23.
Well, he's got the red, but it's never going to be easy to hold the cue ball for one of the ball colours or the black.
The brown's easy enough, but there's a chance of cannoning the green, so he prefers the yellow.
Unless he even sort of potted the brown, he still needed
25.
one more red, and still does after potting the yellow. Particularly unfortunate there, must be said. Took on the more difficult pot. Went into the reds. The only thing he's got on is a thin one into the middle. In his favour, he only needs the red to be safe in this frame.
26. $33. $34.
All sorts of unexpected difficulties seem to be cropping up in this match, but Hendry managed to pot a frame ball red, much more difficult than he was expecting,
40.
and is now sure to be 4-2 ahead.
41. $46. Stephen Hendry, 46 on the frame.
Stephen Hendry 2-0 down, now leads 4-2.
Not quite.
Stephen Hendry, 7.
Immaculate length to the baulk cushion.
Markings had a second look at the plant near the pink spot. Well, makeable. Two balls close together, you can throw the angle of the second red. You can get through to this red by the right corner as well, but I mean that's a tough shot to take on. With no certainty of getting position even if you make it. Not sure about that one.
hit it very thin. Had he hit it thicker and either made the potting angle or very near it, he might have got the cue ball back to the baulk cushion.
1.
Not sure about his choice of shot there, Clive. I mean, that long pot there was safeties available. That's the type of shot you'd play, like, you know, on a Sunday morning in a 400 in the club when you haven't had a shot for an hour and you're waiting to go home for dinner. I don't think it's the shot to play here.
Well, I don't know, maybe
8.
having lost the last 4 frames, King thought that he needed to take the bull by the horns.
9.
Whether or no, it doesn't seem likely to do him any good.
Well, he didn't win the first 2 frames going for shots like that, that's for sure. Then there was 3 open reds on then, but
14.
Stephen Hendry immediately spread those 4 to give him a chance of clinching the frame with this visit.
15. 22.
Hendry's got 4-2 up without really getting into his break building stride. Very often when he's been in, something's gone wrong. An unhelpful kiss or a kick, something like that.
23.
This is the sort of position, though, from which he usually polishes off the frame.
Well, he has made 340s, Clive, a 60, a 50, 34 and 30 in running, so I don't think he can continually do high breaks. I think the standard he's setting this week on Ronnie O'Sullivan, it's difficult
31.
to continue making hundreds and big breaks all the time. As you say, there's other things involved, isn't there? They need good kisses, good contacts, a little bit of running at the right time. We've been spoilt this week, I think. We've had some exceptional standards of play that we've been fortunate enough to be watching in the Welsh Open. The game will always win.
The way that O'Sullivan and Hendry sometimes play,
46.
we need to be reminded that this is a difficult game.
47.
They sometimes make it look deceptively easy.
$54.
Just this red then.
55.
So King's rash choice of shot, perhaps impatience getting the better of him.
62.
Attempting a long red with the cue ball tight on the baulk cushion. Has cost him this frame.
63.
Although, of course, the other man, in this case Hendry, still got to pot the balls.
$70.
70 was plenty. Hendry increases his lead to 5-2. He's 3 up with 4 to play.
Of course, everybody thought that Ronnie O'Sullivan would win easily this afternoon as well. In the bookies' odds, he was heavy odds-on favourite, but Barry Hawkins giving quite a match, I must say.
Yes, 6-4. Quite tight. O'Sullivan having led 4-1.
Well, he found the gap somehow. Had another lunge. And somehow or other got the cue ball back up past the blue. Still get to the red to pot though.
Not that easy, but perfectionist that he is, Hendry very disappointed to miss that.
He looks disappointed with his performance so far. He's set his expectations quite high at all times, but sometimes you just got to knuckle down if it's not fast and flowing. And Mark King's not out there to make it easy for Stephen Hendry. Clever shot. He's only leaving safety on. He was on the black. Holly's going to cover the red on the centre. Stephen Hendry and Ronnie O'Sullivan very similar in some ways, that they do expect to make hundreds every shot. And of course, if you don't set your sights high, I don't suppose you'll ever achieve it. But on the other hand, if you set them too high, you've got to handle the disappointments that come with it. Oh no. No, made a mess of that one.
King has potted only 2 balls in the last 2 frames.
One.
Yes, he looks to have just about lost the plot at the moment. Be very disappointed he didn't put the pressure on early on when he was 2-0 in front. Could have really won the first 4 frames, as Darren Morgan mentioned earlier on.
8.
It's never easy when you're playing a top seed and you get in front of them. Sometimes you're facing barriers you weren't expecting to come across.
Nine. Sixteen. 17.
Plenty of reds available, black on spot. It wouldn't surprise me if this was the last visit of the match.
$24.
Poor safety shot from Mark. Let Stephen in here. He looks to have
25.
perhaps resigned himself to not getting past Stephen Hendry. To see him now into the final. So frustrating out there when you get chances and you don't always clinch. You can keep strong for so long, Clive, but there's always a point when we all crack.
And give way to frustration in some measure. Meanwhile, it's 4 reds, 4 blacks. Hendry has made 8 147 maximums in competition. There's got to be a chance of one here.
40. $41.
There's a £25,000 bonus for a 147 maximum, plus 2,000 for the highest break. It will be a bit rough on Ronnie O'Sullivan
48.
not to win it with his 146.
It's just about what I was talking about earlier on when I spoke to Ronnie about that, and he said, "Yeah, one more point." He said, "I've had £25,000 bonus." They're never happy, you see. You've done a 146 to win the last frame to get into the final, but let's do a 147 as well.
56.
These reds are not in bad positions, I must say, for Stephen Hendry. When all the reds are down, well, more or less below the pink spot, there's always a chance of getting all blacks. It's when they're up on the top half of the table it makes it more difficult.
$64. $65. $72.
There's one that goes there.
$73.
Now then, that's opened up another 2 reds, but maybe a bit straight on the black. Will restrict him. Maybe end a break apart from
80.
a possible plant, and screwed that one.
Trying to come across further to take red to left corner. Wow, the maximum's still on. Those 2 reds close together were always looking to be a problem. It's solved now.
$88. $89.
Must come past these 3 reds now, off the bottom and right hand side cushion. Make sure he's got an angle to stay on the black. Mustn't be short. Oh, he's perfect.
96. 97.
A kick costs him £25,000 for the maximum, which I think he would have completed, plus 2,000 for the highest break. So he has to be content with a run of 97 and victory by 6 frames to 2.